Global Wellness Summit releases 10 health and wellness trends for 2026. In 2026, we'll see a backlash against over-optimization and the bold return of pleasure and joy. Women finally getting their own lanes in longevity and sports, longevity expanding into real estate and beauty, and wellness tackling major crises, disaster preparedness, microplastics, and nervous system exhaustion. The Global Wellness Summit (GWS) today released its annual Future of Wellness report, the longest running, most detailed forecast of the big ideas that will transform health and wellness in the coming year. There have been more shakeups in the wellness market in the last couple of years than in the last 20. The market has been rewritten by high-tech medical hyper-optimizing approaches from the boom in longevity clinics to the avalanche of diagnostics and wearables. At the same time, powerful new desires for a no-tech, deeply human, social, and emotional wellness are raging. These polarities, which now define the wellness market, resonate across the new report. 2026 will be another year of shakeups, a year of corrections and backlashes, a crucial year for women, one where longevity moves in new directions and where major environmental and human crises are tackled. Four themes for 2026. Number one, an over-optimization backlash, the revenge of the human. The backlash against stressful high-tech wellness will reach activist levels. Wellness experiences will embrace what humans actually are: imperfect, emotional, relational, and sensory, and hardwired to seek pleasure and joy. Offerings will pivot to meaning over measurement, catharsis over clinical data, self-expression over self-surveillance. The over-optimization backlash serves as the framing trend, detailing the many ways we'll move beyond performance to sensation, emotional repair, and embodied care. The festivalization of wellness explores a rising wave of healthy, cathartic wellness raves and gatherings where music, dance, and creative expression mean wild, collective, and emotional release. If fragrance has long been about status, celebrity, and corporate sameness, the fragrance layering trend predicts that the ancient art of combining scents will get a modern reimagining. Fragrance as a creative, cultural, and deeply personal language. Number two, the year of women. Major gender inequalities in multi-billion-dollar markets will get corrected. If the booming longevity market was well built for men, women get their own lane in longevity. Goes in depth on how the future is female because women age very differently, with the ovary acting as command center of women's health. Longevity will pivot to women's health span, requiring a whole new longevity paradigm and diagnostics and interventions targeted for every life stage. If men have own sports, women and sports, the evolution continues, details how the women's sports economy is at its long-awaited tipping point with a boom in new leagues and female fandom, female athletes as marketing powerhouses, and women globally turning from only fitness to empowering sports. Number three, longevity expands in new directions. Longevity will move in other bold directions. Longevity Residences investigates how it's moving out of clinics and resorts and into the home with a new wellness real estate category that supports longer, healthier lives through preventive medicine, and diagnostics, biohacking, AI enabled health tracking, and more. Skin longevity redefines beauty, argues that the traditional focus on anti aging is shifting. Innovations in skin longevity and regeneration will introduce a new era of beauty that merges cutting edge biotech, AI, skin diagnostics, and new active ingredients. Number 4. Wellness tackles major environmental and human crises. In our age of multiple crises, from terrifying climate events to brains barraged by bad news, crisis management becomes a pillar of wellness. Ready is the new well predicts that if wellness always promised prevention, the next wellness wave is about survival itself, where having a disaster plan becomes as essential as having a fitness plan. Tackling microplastics as a human health issue provides a deep scientific overview of how microplastics are present throughout the human body and increasingly linked to serious health issues. If we had decades of false wellness detox rhetoric and microplastics threat looks to be real, and in 2026 public health and the wellness market will move from awareness to action. With modern digital life keeping our nervous systems in a state of fight or flight, the rise of neuro-wellness explores how regulating the nervous system is wellness's next frontier, deploying everything from new consumer neurotech to somatic practices to calm our nervous systems before breakdown occurs. This is the only wellness trends reports based on insights from hundreds of health and wellness experts that gather each year at the Global Wellness Summit. Each trend is packed with new ideas, sub-trends, and examples of the companies blazing these new trails. And the over-optimization backlash. We are living through a modern well-being paradox. Never before has health been so measurable, and never before has it felt so psychologically demanding. Sleep is scored, glucose is graphed, aging is tracked, and well-being has shifted from something we feel to something we perform correctly. Therapists warned that data-driven wellness can tip from motivation into fixation, turning insight into pressure. As health data multiplies, many experience analysis paralysis rather than clarity, overwhelmed by constant self tracking and fear of getting it wrong. While longevity research, diagnostics, and health technology have undeniably expanded human potential, optimization without integration is proving costly. The over optimization backlash marks a decisive cultural pivot away from peak wellness and towards something far more human. In response, the fastest growing spaces in wellness are prioritizing nervous system safety, emotional repair, and pleasure over metrics. Social saunas are growing around the world as ritual, not endurance. Brands like On and Mike are Nike are ditching performance language for campaigning about softness, presence, and joy. Clinics are reframing aesthetics as psychological care rather than correction, and new technologies are quietly regulating the body in the background without dashboards or demands. From scream circles and somatic release classes going viral on TikTok to pleasure forward food, low stimulation retreats, and regulation focused wearables, the trend is evident. Wellness is no longer about optimizing harder, it's about feeling safer, more connected, and more alive.